I mean, tangentially, and I don't have it to hand or anything like that, but I saw in RNZ's Instagram feed what we were talking about last night came up, and Luxon was asked about that fellow doing the
Yep.
hunger strike.
Yep.
And Luxon did a big old Luxon and threw his corporate Scrabble bag into the ceiling fan again. And of course, he's incredibly proud of our actions around what's happening in Gaza and that sort of thing. And actually, we've been really strong and we've been really clear about what our position is and all of this sort of stuff. And I just screamed into a pillow because we're doing next to nothing. You know, he pointed out that we're donated to aid organizations and that sort of thing, and it's not enough, and that's what he's not recognizing. He can't be proud of it. We are doing the bare minimum. Our government took months and months and months to sort of go, hey, Israel, maybe stop being so murderous.
Stop being dicks, bro.
Yeah, you're being a real egg. Oh, what's that? You don't give a fuck what we think? Oh, okay. Carry on, I guess. We haven't followed that up with anything.
Yeah.
Nobody has.
Yeah.
We're not expelling their ambassador. We're not closing their embassy. We're not sanctioning them. We're not pulling our troops back from what they're doing in the Red Sea or anything like that. They've given us every opportunity to. They've done everything up to just calling us out and saying the All Blacks are shit. Is that what it would take? Netanyahu getting on the news and going, hey, New Zealand, crowded house is Australian and the All Blacks are shit and Luxon, suck my balls. And then maybe we'll do something. Like, where is the moral backbone that Luxon would love to trot out as long as it is historically distanced enough from any actual moral position today?
Excuse me, sir. I don't think we're going to get to anything else because you've just sent me on a tangent. Because I tweeted this out at about 1 a.m. 1 a.m. this morning. Have you? I'm surprised this hasn't made more news at the moment. ICC, International Criminal Court prosecutor, seeks arrest warrants against Sinwar and Netanyahu for war crimes over October 7 and Gaza. The International Criminal Court is seeking arrest warrants for Hamas leader in Gaza and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity over the October 7 attacks on Israel and the subsequent war in Gaza. The court's prosecutor, Karim Khan, told CNN's Christian Amanpour in an exclusive interview on Monday. The International Criminal Court is wanting to have an arrest warrant, is seeking an arrest warrant. I mean, no one's really going to question the leader of Hamas, sure, but Benjamin Netanyahu, that's bigger news than I think the media has given it in the last 22 hours.
Here's my big call. This is the first thing that I thought of when I saw this. I'm the leader of Hamas. I immediately hand myself in. I present myself for that warrant. Like, then the ball's in Netanyahu's court.
Yep.
At that point, you're presenting yourself for, like, literally a legal charge. You are more or less protected. And yes, you're probably going to face some consequences, but you are being the bigger man at that point. You then have a platform on the world stage.
Yeah.
In a court to say what you want. And you know Netanyahu's not going to do it. Like, just, it'll never happen. It'll never fucking happen. But the first thing that I thought of, I was like, what if? I don't see how Hamas has anything really to lose here. Their backs are up against the wall.
Yep.
The leader of Hamas has to know that there's a Mossad hit squad, homing in on him. He's going to get a drone through his bedroom window or something. Like, just get out hand yourself in, take the hit.
Yeah, I just saw come through the chat then as we were speaking, as you were speaking, a couple of people were saying, yeah, but America will block it. I don't know if you can. I mean, unless they can influence the International Criminal Court, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens from here.
Remember,
Look, even if it goes nowhere, that as a headline, crimes against humanity, we want to try Netanyahu for crimes against humanity, is huge. That's
and when they go into why it's crimes against humanity, it's really clear. It's using starvation as a weapon of war. It's deliberately targeting civilians. It's stuff that they 100% are guilty of.
Yep.
I haven't seen the direct charges against Hamas. It's almost like they don't need to mention them. But yeah, it's like the US does not have a good history with the International Criminal Court either. I seem to remember during Afghanistan, or maybe it was Iraq, when there were talks of war crimes charges being leveled against individual US military leaders for actions that happened. The statement was made that if anybody gets arrested and goes to The Hague, then the army will come and get them out of The Hague under arms. So, yeah, it's not the UN.
Yeah. So watch this space. And I also see people saying that it should have been the biggest headline around the world for the last 24 hours. I sort of agree, because even if it doesn't lead to anything, just a criminal court, international criminal court saying to Netanyahu, you know, if we could, we would, is a pretty big diversion, pretty big movement from a lot of the international world saying, well, you know, Israel, they can kind of do what they want, you know, with their history. We give them a pretty long amount of lead before we pull them in. It looks like the lead's finally come to its end, which it should have done yonks ago, but it's finally come to its end and they're trying to pull them in. So it's going to be fascinating.
Freestyle's just pointed out that the US isn't a signatory to the International Criminal Court.
Yeah, but they may be able. That's why I said they might be able to exert pressure in other ways. I don't know. You know, if Biden, you know, visited the prosecutors and wanted to, you know, put his oar in, I'm sure that would carry some weight, whether it's official or not. And I'm not suggesting it do that, but you know.
Oh, there you go. The US, Russia, and Israel are not signed up to the ICC. So every time these guys talk about the rules-based order, tell them to smoke it. What the hell?
And also, even if they can't physically call him with charges, having that out there is wanted for crimes against humanity. Just that. That is an addendum on his Wikipedia page would be a very interesting thing, Chewy.